I'm gonna talk about tier lists right now. But first of all, let me tell you my opinion on tier lists. I think tier lists don't matter much. Especially if you're an online player, tier lists really don't matter. Because, first of all, you don't even know how to play the game if you're an online player. Even if you're like a Raijin, you just don't know enough about the game for tier lists to matter, you know? You don't know matchups and stuff. And you don't even know how to fully play your character to their fullest potential. And I also think it's impossible to play a character to their fullest potential, because we are humans, we make mistakes, you know? So, for example, Kazuya has a 13 frame launcher, but it's so difficult to do that no Kazuya player is going to do that consistently. 13 frame EVGF, that's difficult. Any way to make the background darker? No. I might as well turn off the stream chat for this one. Like this, yep. And at the highest level of Tekken gameplay, tier lists matter, but not as much as people think. Because in the end, fundamentals will win, no matter how good the character of the opponent is, you know? That's why players like Rangchu could win. Uftika, thank you for the tier 1 sub. And yeah, so for example, consistency matters the most in tournament level gameplay. So Rangchu could win a Tekken World Tour event, but in the end, Ni is a better player overall because he places high in more tournaments than Rangchu does, you know? He is more consistent with his wins. I also see players say stuff like, oh, Xiaoyu does not win tournaments, so she cannot be top tier. And once again, fundamentals are what matter the most. And Tekken is a legacy-based game. You will rarely see new players win tournaments consistently. That's why we keep seeing players like Ni, JDCR, and Chanel win tournaments. You know? Consistency really matters. And yeah, Ni is a player who has been playing Tekken for a long time. And not just Ni, but many other top level players. Okay. I think we can start now. I would place Jin as top tier, of course. He's extremely well-rounded. I don't think he has any weaknesses. Not at all. And low tier will be... where is he? Gigas, of course. Here is Gigas. And he has faults. I would place him somewhere here. This all can change with time, okay? Okay, let's pick Kazuya. He's definitely weaker than Jin. And he's pretty well-rounded, but not as much as Jin. Kazuya can be really unsafe, and his poking isn't that good. For now, we're gonna place him here. Kazuya also has the scariest 50-50 in the game in devil form. And Heihachi. That's difficult. For now, I would say Heihachi is a little more, no, slightly more well-rounded than Kazuya. Of course, I don't play these characters, so that's another thing I want to mention about this tier list. I don't know everything about the game. I don't know all the characters. But I will still place them somewhere in the tier lists based on my understanding of the game. Okay? Alisa. Alisa is top tier, yep. Not sure if she's as good as Kazuya. Somewhere here. And she's super well-rounded. I don't think she has many weaknesses. Perhaps her offense isn't as good, but she's a great keep-out character. Her keep-out tools are great. Magic 4, down forward 4. Although I think that it's, once you backdash a lot against Alisa, and you stay at range 2 or something like that, she isn't as good anymore. Her offense, I mean. So yeah, I would place her somewhere here. She also has lots of, I would say, gimmicks. Oh, that's another thing about this tier list. I will not take gimmicks into consideration. I will take into consideration the way the character is supposed to be played, you know? So Alisa has lots of gimmicks like the knockdown low, down back 4, which is really bad in high-level gameplay because it's seeable. So yeah. Lars, definitely low tier. Above Gigas, somewhere above Gigas. He's more well-rounded than Gigas for sure. His punishment is good. But his offense just not good at all. Not good at all. It does not work. Somewhere here, yep. Akuma, I will leave him for now. Paul. I don't know that much about Paul since I've never played him. I think he has more faults than Kazuya, slightly more faults. Let's move Heihachi and Kazuya like this. Slightly below Kazuya and Heihachi, I'd say. Paul is very well rounded, you say? I don't know, he seems kind of unsafe to me. For example, his famous Death Fist and Demoman mix-up. It's all unsafe. But he also has a 14-frame launcher, like Alisa. Somewhere here. Law. Somewhere in the middle. I'd say Law is below Paul. He's good at, but I don't think he's as good as people say he is. His counter hit, he's focused a lot on counter hits. But then again, I feel like his counter hit tools are kind of risky, you know? Law is next to Jin, I can't agree with that. Even Law's rage drive isn't as good. It's 24 frames fast, as far as I know, so it's reactable. I don't know. I can't decide. Let's place him here. I'd say Heihachi has much better offense than Law. And Heihachi has great mids. That's what makes his pressure so good. I don't think Law has such good mids. Law is pretty good at poking and counter hitting, but I feel like Law is just slightly unsafe. And Heihachi's low doesn't have lows. Well, that's true as well. His lows aren't good. Again, this is difficult. So in the end, Heihachi is a little less well-rounded than Kazuya. No, he's more well-rounded because of the mids. And he's down forward 1. One of the best down forward ones in the game. Can't argue with that. Let's pick a mid-tier character. Something like Katarina. Katarina has Magic 4. She has lots of online gimmicks, which don't matter much in high-level gameplay. She's pretty well-rounded, I'd say. Yeah, let's leave her here for now. I don't think she has many scary tools outside of a couple of blows, Magic 4. Her long-ranged hop kick is a great with Punisher, and her huge damage. That's what makes her a good character. That's what makes her a good character. Marduk, definitely above Katarina, but below Paul and Law. Does Marduk have faults? Don't know him that much. He doesn't seem to have that many faults. His rage drive is really good. He can have really high damage, chunky moves, some pretty good lows, although many of his lows are really risky, that's for sure. But I wouldn't say he's well-rounded. He's more on the has faults side. Somewhere here. Somewhere here, yeah. Let's pick Noctis. Oh boy, Noctis. I'd say he's below Katarina and has faults in high-level gameplay. Once again, he has lots of great online gimmicks, but doesn't have much going for him in high-level gameplay. What does he even have at high-level gameplay? He has a couple of decent pokes. His down forward one seems good. I don't think his lows are good. He has the spear, but yeah, that's an online gimmick. Yeah, he definitely has faults. But he's a good mid-tier character. His jab is 14 frames. Yeah, but it has some high crush properties. And the hitbox is pretty good as well. He seems to be more of a defensive character in high-level gameplay. His offense, not that good, but he's a great defensive character because of his range, and his counter hits aren't that bad either. He is up forward 1, for example. Let's pick Steve, another top-tier character. He has faults. He definitely has faults. Even more faults than Marduk, perhaps. His punishment is not good. Doesn't have a fast launcher. But then again, he has a rage drive, which is a 14 frame launcher, as far as I know. His rage drive is super good. And his pressure is the scariest pressure in the game, honestly. He's full of counter hit launchers like back one, his tracking is godlike, and his lows aren't that great either, so that's another weakness he has. So he definitely has faults. But his crazy pressure makes up for that. Claudio, another mid-tier character for now. Although I'd say he's a slightly weaker than Noctis. Has faults. His lows are unsafe. He has running too and some good mids. His poking isn't that good. His counter hit launchers are unsafe. So he definitely has faults. But he's good. For now. But I'd say he is below Noctis. What do you think, chat? Claudio's kinda mediocre. Yep, kinda mediocre. And definitely has faults. And I feel like once he has plus frames, and if he wants a counter hit, like, you know, he has to take risks. His magic 4 is really unsafe because it's high, so if somebody ducks it, he dies. Yeah. He just doesn't work that well. Eliza. One of the low tier characters. And definitely has faults. But with meter, she's amazing. She's definitely amazing with meter. Somewhere here. Probably even more faults than Claudio. I don't know. For now, I'd put her here. The only huge weakness she has are her lows. Her lows are not good. She has down 3, which is a low poke. And she has guaranteed stuff afterwards, but it has to be a clean hit. And nobody knows for sure what makes a hit a clean hit. It seems to be random. And if she goes for an extension after down 3, she's really unsafe because her extensions are unsafe. If she goes for something like Dragon Punch, she's gonna die. And she also has the wall splitting low extension with meter, which is really good, but once again, it has to be a clean hit, so it's really random. Sometimes it's natural, the low into mids, and sometimes it's not. Clean hit isn't random. A clean hit is when the hit hits deep. Sometimes I dash in deep and it's not a clean hit. It's weird. Second 7 hitboxes, I guess. Her poking is pretty decent in my opinion. At least she has a magic 4. And she has more keep out poking tools like back 1, which is a 14 frame mid that high crushes. But it's not as good as Xiaoyu's down forward 1, for example, which is also a 14 frame mid that high crushes. So her tools are slightly worse. Her fundamental tools, I mean, are slightly worse. But the only thing that saves her is meter, where she's really somewhere up here with meter. Chloe. What about you, Chloe? For now, well-rounded. She got serious buffs in Season 2. She was somewhere down here in Season 1. Her mix-ups were shit. You had no reason for ducking against her, so you couldn't get hit by her back turn mid launcher if you played smart. Now she has a back turn knockdown mode, so you have a good reason for ducking against her. And now she actually has a chance to hit you with the huge launcher from back turn stance. Her damage is insane. She can kill you with one combo pretty much. She's a solid mid-tier character, but she definitely has faults. Her poking is decent though. I'd say she is more well-rounded than Noctis, and slightly above Noctis too. She's a solid mid-tier character. Also, her pokes have good tracking. She has good power crushes. She has good tools. Good low pokes like sidestep 4, full crouch down forward 1. But she can be also pretty unsafe. She can be definitely unsafe. For example, the backturn launcher. Some characters always get a guaranteed float combo on it. For example, Lily always gets a forward 2-3. No matter if Chloe finishes the string or not, Lily will always launch her for going for the backturn launcher. She can be kind of unsafe. And she can have range issues, especially on her pokes, like her jabs. They don't reach really far. So she definitely has range issues. Geese. Somewhere up here. Not sure if above Law and Paulo, but he's up there. Valkyries, thank you for the raid. Thank you very much. He's is top 10, definitely. He's definitely top 10. Somewhere here. He has great pokes. He has great pokes. And with meter, he can be scary as well. I'd say he's really well-rounded. But I think he does have issues with punishment. He struggles with that. But he definitely is weaker than Mishima's. But he's still a beast. And he's a character that is great at tournament settings, like in first to 3s and first to 2s. Kazuya is a top tier character, but he's not good in first to 3s and first to 2s in my opinion. I'd say Kazuya he gets stronger and stronger the more matches you play against someone. Geese can destroy you pretty quickly. So that's one of the reasons why I think that Geese is so popular in tournaments. Nina, somewhere low. Nina's not good. She's pretty well-rounded, that's for sure, but she just doesn't work that well. I think she has tracking issues, range issues for sure. Her pokes are good and that's about it. Good counter hit tools. Scary wall pressure with sidestep ones. But if you have good defense, I don't think she's gonna hurt you very much. People say she has big damage, that's for sure. But in Tekken Tag Tournament 2, she was up here. And that's because in Tekken Tag Tournament 2, you had a bounce system. That meant not every character had great wall carry with a bounce system. And the stages were much larger too. So characters like Nina and Lars, who had amazing wall carry, were top tier. In Tekken 7, stages are much smaller, and because of the screw system, pretty much every character has good wall carry. So, yeah. She just doesn't have anything going for her in this game. But she's more well-rounded, yeah. More well-rounded, but nothing really stands out about her, to me. Anna, low tier, and has big faults. Even bigger than Elisa. Anna, she's terribly unsafe. Terribly unsafe. Her mids are crap. She has a really good down forward one, but she doesn't have scary mids that really hurts and are safe. Anna has great highs and good pressuring lows. But the problem is that those are highs and lows, so people tend to duck against Anna a lot. And if they block her lows, Anna is dead. Because even her down forward 4, which is a low poke, is like minus 16 or minus 17 on block. Every low she has is launch punishable on block. And her damage is huge. She has good poking, good counter hits, and that's what saves her, but she has to party in order to win. She has to party hard. She's too unsafe. Even her poking is very risky. And her hitbox and she also has hitbox issues. So that's about Anna. Asuka, definitely top tier. Somewhere here. Less well-rounded than Alisa though. Maybe even less well-rounded than Geese. I don't know that much about Geese because I don't play him. But I know a lot about Asuka. And I'd say she's better than Law or Paul. Just because she's more well-rounded. She is a great fundamental character. She has everything. She has literally everything except for a good jab punish and good wall standing punishment. Those are her only weaknesses. She has amazing crushing moves like Can-Cans, back 3. Those are fantastic panic tools. She's full of safe mid launchers like 1+2, down forward 2. Great homing moves with forward 3 and forward 4. Counter hit tools like back 4. She has everything. Low pokes like down back 3. Is it down back 3 or down back 4? Not sure which one it is one yet. But she has everything. A power low down 1+2, which gives her a guaranteed follow-up, which makes for a really scary 50-50. 20 frames fast low, that's unseeable. She's scary. And she has great tools at every range. You know, she has good pokes at close range. She has great tools at range 2, like forward 4-3, you know. She's just so good. She's almost broken. Yeah, she's almost broken. If she had a jab punish and wall standing punishment, she would probably be even, I don't know, even above Steve. Maybe she's even higher than Heihachi? I don't know, but I feel like Heihachi's and Kazuya's pressure is much scarier in general. Way better than Law. Definitely way better than Law. And probably even better than Alisa slightly, yeah. But Alisa is well-rounded. Yeah, I'd say, yeah, something like this. Although I'm not sure which one is higher, Alisa or Asuka. They both have something good that the other character doesn't have. For example, Alisa has 14 frame launcher. Okay, let's not talk about these characters too much. Master Raven, mid-tier, but she has faults. Probably even bigger faults than Claudio. Not sure if bigger faults than Elisa. I'd say she is more well-rounded than Elisa. Again, I don't play Master Raven, but from what I've seen, she can be pretty unsafe. Her back turn stance is not that good. You can just sidestep left against it, and she can't really do much to hurt you. Master Raven is actually very safe, tons of safe pokes. But Elisa has safe pokes too. Like back one, down forward one, jabs. Those are also great pokes. But you can't win a game with just pokes. And I'm not taking online into consideration in this tier list. No gimmicks. Because online tier lists don't matter, as I said before. Why would tier lists matter if you don't even know your opponent's character? For example, when you don't know what half of the roster even does, and you don't know their moves, you can't play real Tekken if you don't know your opponent. Also, what I take into consideration in tier lists is stuff like, does the character have a 14 frame launcher? Does the character have good movement? For example, characters like Eddie, they don't have good... Eddie, Panda, or Jack, they don't have good sidesteps. And that really hinders those characters in a game that focuses on movement. Let's take Julia. She's slightly above average, but she has falls. She can be unsafe. But she has great pressure with her pokes. Her lows are bad though. Her lows are pretty bad. Yeah, something like this. Her lows are bad because her low poke doesn't give her frame advantage, so you cannot use it for pressure. And her power lows, they either come from stances, like bow and arrow comes from full crouch, so these lows can be telegraphed and they're launch punishable on block, you know. So her lows aren't good. She doesn't have chunky mids that are really good. And a lot of her stuff is -14. So she can be punished heavily. And she has one of the best wall carries in the game. A huge combo potential. But I don't see her being stronger than Marduk. And I'd say I don't know. Does Chloe have more faults than Julia? Julia's probably more well-rounded. Let's do it like this. Julia is better than Murdoch. I don't know much about Murdoch, that's the thing, but he seems really strong to me. I just have a feeling that Julia isn't as good. I placed Murdoch too high. Probably lower. Like this, okay. Let's not dwell on it too much. We can change it with time. Brian, up there, but he has, I think he has some faults. But he's also more well-rounded than Julia. I don't know. This is so difficult. I'd say he's more well-rounded than Julia. And he's probably as good as Geese, or slightly below. Like this. He has great counter hits, but I think they can be unsafe. Some of his stuff is unsafe, you know. He's really strong. He has stomped at the wall. Obsidia, thanks for the gifted subs. Thank you very much. And he's definitely not that well-rounded. Maybe put him like this, yep. I think he lacks some ranged tools. A good strategy against Brian is to keep backdashing and backdashing. He doesn't have good knockdown lows, so you don't really have a reason for ducking against him. Or sidestepping, you know? And he has forward, forward, forward as a homing move, which is awesome. And that's another reason why you don't really have to sidestep that much against Brian. You just backdash and look out for soccer kicks, and that's it. That pretty much beats him. And he can have some ranged issues, especially on his punishment. For example, Jet Upper doesn't have amazing range. So he definitely has faults. Eddie, low tier. Not sure if he's above Lars. They are both so bad. Anna at least has the damage and the 50-50s. Lars has nothing apart from his defense. His offense does not work at all. Eddie has good pokes. But he has many faults as well. First of all, his sidestep. The worst sidestep in the game. He will not sidestep anything. So he has to rely on backdashing. But he does have the best backdashing in the game. But if you play Eddie against characters like Lily, who are linear, you're just giving her an advantage because you can't sidestep her linear moves. He has good pokes, some good counter hit tools like down forward too, but it's nothing too crazy, you know? Nothing really makes him stand out. Even his poking can be very risky once you try going for stances, right? Like handstand stance and relax stance. He has to work for his damage so hard. So hard. And I feel like he's more risk than reward, you know? More risk than reward. And even his 50-50s, like from relaxed stance, you know, between the unseeable low and the mid, those can be avoided with good movement in many situations. He's just so unsafe and so not rewarding. But a defensive Eddie with great fundamentals can be hard to beat with his backdashing. Bob. Mid-tier has faults. Big faults, I'd say. More faults than Master Raven. And probably even more faults than Elisa. He is not as good as in Tekken Tag 2. He was top tier in Tekken Tag 2. He received so many nerfs in Tekken 7. He can be very unsafe, you know, with his house sweep and knockdown lows. He has good pokes, that's true. But I feel like so many bot players in Tekken 7 try to play him in a very unsafe way. And he doesn't have a good standing launcher either. You can take more risks versus Bob. He is a party character. Yeah, I'd say he is a party character. But he also has some pretty good fundamental tools. I don't know. But maybe he's a bit better than Chloe. Yep. But I don't think he's better than Katarina. I just don't think Bob is a well-rounded character. From the way I see people play him. Bob can rub you at any time. Yeah, he has 50-50s like the house sweep. But does he have any safe mids? Like good chunky mids or safe launchers? I don't think he has, right? Bob is definitely not well-rounded. He lacks some basic tools. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. Negan, low tier. Kinda well-rounded, but not that much. Just kind of. He can have moves with big plus frames, but then he cannot take advantage of the plus frames. Because he doesn't have good counter hits, you know? His intimidation stance is not scary at all. Yeah, he's just not good. Tracking issues. He's almost like Lily. He's almost like Lily. Intimidation stance is fake. Exactly. Counter hits don't exist. Tracking doesn't exist. Basically like Lily. Leo. Not sure if top 10 characters. Leo is well-rounded. She or he, it, Z, I don't know. She's really well-rounded in my opinion. She can be played very safe. Somewhere here, yep, somewhere here. Great pokes, great lows. She has everything you can ask for. Okay punishment, but she doesn't really have anything that makes her stand out from the other characters. For example, Brian has his carry wall game. Leo doesn't stand out to me that much. But yeah, even Leo's wall game is scary, but not as much as Brian's, for example. And I think Leo can be played well, fundamentally. She has good counter hit tools, but she's almost like Jin, who also has everything, So Leo is like Jin without steroids to me. Something like that. Leo, yeah, Leo is Jin without tracking. But she has pretty good homing moves. And her down foot 2 also tracks both directions. Yeah, yeah. She works good as a character. She has everything, but her tools aren't that good. Feng, solid mid-tier character. I feel like Feng is the definition of a mid-tier character, or slightly above. He also has good tools. Doesn't have any weaknesses, I think. But once again, his tools don't really stand out in a game where you have crazy stuff like Paul's damage, or Brian's wall game, or Steve's pressure. You know, doesn't really stand out with anything. And his stances, his evasive stances can be really good in high-level gameplay. He's well-rounded to me. Actually, he might be even better than Katarina, somewhere here. Maybe even more well-rounded than Nina? Not sure about that. Who should we pick next? Devil Jin, of course, is just below Jin and just above Steve. Josie. I don't know much about Josie. I'm sorry, but I really don't. I was never interested in this character. She's good in my opinion. She's good somewhere here. Don't think she has many weaknesses from what I've seen. Good poking, great counter hit tools, really offensive character. Is she better than Katarina? Not sure. Maybe she is better than Katarina. No? Not better than Katarina? I don't know. So let's make them equally good. Is Josie more well-rounded than Katarina? Let's leave it like that. Yoshimitsu. I think he's pretty low tier. Big faults, just like Anna. Probably as strong as Nina. Except Nina is well-rounded and Yoshimitsu is not. Horrible frames. He's a gimmicky character that has no good fundamental tools. And I'd say even his party stuff is very risky and not really rewarding. So I think someone with good fundamentals will beat up Yoshi immediately. Garbage Can Yoshi. His homing moves aren't really good either. He's unsafe. Hell unsafe. Has to rely on gimmicks, which aren't even that good. Kazumi, so solid. Probably not sure if more well-rounded than Alisa. Somewhere here. Yeah, somewhere here. Great fundamental character, strong tools, great poking, great mids. Lows aren't that good, but that's pretty much... Yeah, actually her lows aren't that good. That's a weakness she has. Is she more well-rounded than Feng? No. I'd say Kazumi... No, I'd say Feng is more well-rounded than Kazumi. No, Kazumi is more well-rounded. Okay. I think I'm happy with it so far. What do you guys think? Kazuya is strong. Am I joking? I'm not joking. Kazuya is really strong. Why wouldn't he be strong? He has risky stuff, but his reward is worth it. Very much worth it. Is Kazuya below Heihachi? You think Kazuya is below Heihachi? Might be slightly, but just because Kazuya is harder to play, I admit that he's harder to play than Heihachi. Heihachi can just Unga rush you down. Kazuya, I mean, in a tournament setting, he has great offense, and Kazuya is more risky than Heihachi, I think. Not at all. Heihachi is the worst Mishima. Kazuya is above him. That's debatable though. Heihachi is pretty Unga, yeah. He is. Jack. I don't know. Somewhere here. Jack is still pretty good. Like, pretty good. His frames aren't that good on paper. But he's great in a real match because on some moves he has so much pushback. He reaches so far with his arms. So he has great great hitboxes on moves. But his frames aren't good. But somehow he just works so well, you know? Can't really describe it. Jack's sidestep is trash. Yeah, but that's one of his big faults. His sidestep isn't good, but he makes up for it with the long reach and how well he can control space, you know, and how annoying he can be at the wall. And with his down back 2 poke all the time. And down forward 2. Needs to do down forward 2. Yeah, I know, right? Down forward 2 is minus 14 on block, yet every Jack player loves it. Even Saint. Like, could you see a layer player spamming down forward 2 as much as Jack spams down forward 2? Yet they are both unsafe. Yet it's a much better tool for Jack. But I wouldn't say Jack is above Marduk, no. I can't see Jack being top tier, no. And How fast is Jack's rage drive? Is it like 23 or 24 frames fast? How fast is it? Can someone look it up? Put Marduk where Jin is right now? Nah, I will not. Okay, I will put Marduk higher, but... like this, okay? Just to make you happy, Marcus. Do I remember the Saint? Do I think that he's still below Marduk? As I said at the beginning of the stream, where you weren't, Stonda, Saint is a veteran Tekken player who has been playing for many years. He has great fundamentals, that's why he's winning. It's not because he's using a top tier character. Saint is Saint and he's gonna win regardless of whether Jack is low tier or high tier. Tekken is a legacy-based game. Those who have been playing the game for a long time are going to win consistently. Shaheen? I don't know much about Shaheen. Somewhere here. Not really a good character. Not really a good character. His rage drive sucks, that I know for sure. His poking is okay. His poke crouch game is okay. But does that make him a good character? I don't think so. His punishment is whatever. Does he have a 14 frame launcher? He's good, but once again, he's good in a game where there are so many much better characters. Shaheen likes range? Yeah, sort of like Nina. I put Nina into the well-rounded section just because she can be so safe. But she also has issues. Range issues, especially. Shaheen's punishment is meh. Yeah, I agree. Akuma. Definitely higher than Eliza. Has faults. But he has insane damage. And I think his damage is even bigger than Eliza's. I don't know much about Akuma. I've never researched him. I'd say, from what I've seen so far, he's pretty bad without meter. Maybe even worse than Eliza. But with meter, he's insane. So I don't know much about Akuma. My reasoning for putting Heihachi so high, his pressure, and his downward one. His pressure can be so good. Shaheen's punishment is good? I don't know. I don't know, Shaheen. But he has faults for sure, so I'm not gonna change it. Lee. I'm gonna go to hell for placing Lee into the wrong section, right? Lee mains are gonna kill me for this one. No. Let's put him higher. Has faults? Has faults. I would put everyone into mid-tier and has faults. Let's change it like this, yep. I don't know. He's pretty well-rounded, actually. Yeah, pretty well-rounded. He has great counter hit tools, great poking. Maybe he's even more well-rounded than Nina. I'd say he's much better than Nina. How about we put him here? Your father gonna kill me? Really? Lee is to the left of Bob. Lee is 8 at least. A at least. So higher, but not stronger than Kazumi. Come on, he cannot be stronger than Kazumi, right? Somewhere here. Are you happy now? Are you happy? He's definitely above Bob. Right? Right? Let's leave him there. A bit lower and we are happy. Okay. Somewhere here, just so that we could see his excellent face, okay? Only for that reason. I know where I'm gonna put Lily and Xiaoyu, but I'll leave those two to the end. Dragunov. I'd say more well-rounded than Nina. Probably not as well-rounded as Kazumi. He's still really good though. He is still really good. But I don't think he's as good as Feng. He doesn't have that he doesn't have that crazy stuff like Feng has, you know. He's a really fundamental character. But once again, there are characters that can play fundamentally better than Dragunov can. Wall running 2? I don't think his wall running 2 is that scary. No. But he is still a super good character. He has great space control, good punishment, good counter hit tools. His lows are still good, but not crazy anymore. Dragunov is better than Asuka. I cannot agree with that. No. No. I'd say he's below Kazumi. Somewhere, I would compare him to Feng. But Asuka is miles better than Dragunov. Miles better than Dragunov. He has no standing punishment. Dragunov? I guess he has a good 12 frame punisher. Then he has a 15 frame downforce too, but he doesn't have much in between, right? And there are characters who have much better 12 frame punishers too. Like Lily, Xiaoyu. They have knockdown. They have knockdown 12 frame punishers. Asuka, Alisa, all these characters they have knockdown 12 frame punishers. Top 3 while standing punishment, but that's not gonna save him. Not gonna save him. While standing 1-2 is 13. While standing 1+2. Okay, but his standing punishment is not amazing. It's good, but not amazing. He's well-rounded. 4-1 is very, very good. Yeah, it is. But what's his fastest knockdown move? Because a 12 frame knockdown move is super good at the wall. You don't need knockdown punishers from standing. What if you block a standing 4 at the wall? What does he do then? Just 4-1. He doesn't get a wall spot, you know? I think that fast knockdown moves are important for wall pressure. King. Definitely high tier. Not sure if more well-rounded than Paul. Not sure. Probably not as good as Law, right? But I feel he's better than Paul. Or is he? Somewhere here. King is just as well-rounded as Paul. Yeah, they're both well-rounded. King is top 10 maybe? Maybe, yeah. I'm pretty happy with my placement of King. He's a fundamentally flawed character. Well, he has problems against AOP. How about his low pokes? He has good mid pokes. Amazing throw game. Pretty good punishment, right? Seems good to me. His lows are his throws. Yeah, no, King doesn't really need lows. He has a drop kick at least, which is good. Armor King. I don't know much about Armor King in this game. I'd say he has flaws. Below normal King. Yeah, let's place him here. Maybe even below Julia. Is he below Julia? He's definitely weaker than the normal King. Down back 3 is launch punishable. Which down back 3? Do you mean Armor King's low sweep? Because that's not a good low. It's kind of seeable, especially offline, and it's launch punishable. You can't really use it for pressuring. It's very risky. Armor King below Julia. Yes, I thought so. But more well-rounded than Bob. Let's do it like this. So many characters in this list have Pauls. I should probably move them to the more well-rounded side. I probably should do that, yeah. Also, Akuma. I think he has way more faults than Bob. Ah. This tier list is scuffed. Miguel. Well-rounded, for sure. Great poking. Good punishment. He has good tools. He's a good fundamental character. But he doesn't have anything crazy, right? And he has good movement as well, as far as I know. Miguel is Dragon of Area, yeah, for sure. Maybe even higher than Fang, but lower than Kazumi. Something like this. Yeah, I'm happy with my Miguel placement. Miguel should be below middle tier line. around the Brian King level. Yeah, something like this. The bears. They have faults, for sure. I don't know which one has the better rage drive. The rage drive is what they differ in, right? Panda is better than Kuma? Okay. Not sure why. I guess it's because it's girl power, right? They have lots of gimmicks. Lots of crazy stuff, but bad movement because of their hitbox. Characters will get bigger combos on them because they're so huge, you know. For example, Xiaoyu gets 3 unblockables on bears. Lily gets more grounded hits on bears. Stuff like that. But they're definitely low tier. They have faults. Not sure if... maybe Eddie is a little more well-rounded? No. No. I'll leave it like this. And Negan is more well-rounded than Panda and Kuma, but Panda and Kuma have crazier stuff. Lei. I don't know much about Lei. I don't think he's good, just because his fundamental stuff isn't that good. I think he's better than Yoshimitsu though, and more well-rounded than Yoshimitsu, but also has more faults than Master Raven. I think Master Raven is a better character. Somewhere here, below Shaheen, but better than Mina and Yoshimitsu. Or is he better? No, not sure. Also, why did I put Yoshimitsu higher than Nina? No. Nina is higher, I think. Nina can be played better fundamentally than Lei and Yoshimitsu. Lei and Yoshimitsu are gimmicky characters. They rely on tricks and setups. Bad fundamental tools, bad frames. Law should be top 3. No. I don't see Law being top 3. Why do you think Law is top 3? Because he has a 14 frame launcher? A bunch of other characters have 14 frame launchers too, with good range. For example, Alisa. Horang. Jeez, Horang. More well-rounded than Akuma. Not sure if better than Akuma. Somewhere around Bob and Armor King, I'd say. He's much better than in Tekken Tag 2, where he was pretty low tier. Great offense, but really unsafe. Good power crushes with backlash. Pretty poor punishment, especially wall stunning punishment, and that's a big fault for him. No good panic tools. He's kind of risky. I don't think Law is top 3. No. So far, I haven't heard one good reason why Law should be top 3. What does Law lack? he doesn't lack much, that's why he's well-rounded. But his counter hit tools aren't that good. Of course he has a magic 4, but Jin has a better magic 4, much better magic 4. I'd say even Steve's back 1 is better than Law's magic 4 maybe, because of the hitbox. Does Law's magic 4 track? Not sure. Koreans say Law is OP. Completely broken pressure. I don't know about that. I'm pretty happy. Like this. I don't think Law is above Kazuya and Heihachi. I just don't think so. Worse 50-50 than Mishima's. Yeah, worse 50-50 than Mishima's. Okay, now the best two characters. I mean, my best two characters. Xiaoyu and Lily. Oh boy. Okay, so Xiaoyu. Definitely one of the top 10 characters. Maybe not top 10, not sure, but she's really strong. Not above Asuka and Alisa in this season. If this was season 1, she would be maybe even above Jin. But she got big nerfs in season 2. The nerf on her down forward 1 is, I don't think it was fair. They reduced the tracking, which is fine, but they also reduced its damage significantly. It deals so much less damage than in the previous Tekken games. And Xiaoyu is always a poking-oriented character. She had to rely on down forward 1 a lot. And I don't like the down forward 1 nerf, because she cannot be played the same way anymore, you know? Where am I gonna put you? She's well-rounded, but not as well-rounded as Lisa or Kazumi. I don't know, somewhere here. She has range issues, and her wall standing punishment sucks. But that's the only two weaknesses she has. She's like Yoshimitsu and Lei, except Xiaoyu has really good fundamental tools compared to these two characters, and she can be played very safely. And she has so many playstyles too. You can play her defensively, because she has good keep out tools, she's full of counter hit launchers, good spacing, and even in her stances she can move around a lot. I don't think there are many characters in the game that have so many movement options from their stances like Xiaoyu. Like, she's all over the place, you know? And that's very underrated in my opinion. And she's the only character in the game that can crouch under mids, you say? She can crouch in even under lows, as I showed in one of my recent videos. She's definitely up there in the tiers. Good punishment, except for wall standing punishment. Great with punishment. Like, super good with punishment. And great pokes, that's why she can be played fundamentally. Yeah, you can play her offensively as well, because she has good mix-ups. Rewarding mix-ups as well. She has safe mids like AOP down 1+2, and you can mix it up with the AOP sweep. And that's a really great mix-up. Or for example, her sidestep 4, which is a low that is only -13 on block. It's counter hit launcher. And it's true that it comes out from a sidestep, but you can delay it, you know? You can delay. You have a lot of time to input the 4 after the sidestep. So you can really change your timing with Xiaoyu. And this is just one of the examples of why I think she's so good. She can change her timing on many of the moves. For example, even on her Rage Drive, she can move around in the stance. She can sidestep, roll away, roll towards the opponent. Lots of movement options. That's what makes her Rage Drive and all of her other moves less obvious, so she can set up these moves really well, in my opinion. She has lots of choices. Lots of choices. Something that characters like Yoshimitsu or Lei don't have. And I see many Xiaoyu players saying she's unsafe. You don't have to play her unsafe. You don't have to go to backturn stance. You can do wall standing 2 and turn around and be safe. Or do 1 down 2 and go back to neutral. It's not like she has to commit to going to backturn stance and then be killed for it. No, you can bait out hop kicks and stuff like that. Going into stance or not going into stance is a big mind game against Xiaoyu. I could go on and on about Xiaoyu. I could go on and on. Okay, that's it about Xiaoyu. Let me improve the placing though. I think she's still above Kazumi. I think she's above Kazumi and maybe even above Keys. But she's less well-rounded. Something like this. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Lily should be between Anna and Yoshi. Lily. She's low tier. She's low tier. Mid tier at best. At best. And that's being generous, okay? That's being generous. And I can tell you why she's low tier. She has faults. But I think she is a little more... I don't know. She's more well-rounded than Claudio, I think. Just because she can be played in a more safe way. If you're playing to keep out, spacing game, you know? The thing about Lily is that she doesn't have safe launchers. She's linear as hell. She has no counter hit tools. She has up 4, which is a 15 frame counter hit launcher. But what do you do with counter hit launchers? You pressure your opponents with counter hit launchers, right? Well, Lily's 15 frame counter hit launcher doesn't work like that. It has 0 range, so it has to be used as a defensive tool. It's like a hopkick that launches only a counter hit. You cannot see that as a spammable counter hit launcher. It has no range whatsoever, so it does not count as a as an offensive tool. She has an armored launcher. Okay, now I see what people think about Lily. She has an armored launcher with a forward input, and it's also really slow. How do you want to use this when you're under pressure and someone is in your face? You don't even have time to input it. Not to mention waiting for it to come out. You cannot use her armored launcher under pressure. You cannot. And it's launch punishable too, yeah. And this is a problem with her Lily's panic tools. They are launchers, like Matterhorn, or down back 4, but they're launch punishable on block. And they have horrible range. So opponents with some IQ and movement, they will just bait out these moves. And okay, her Burkash has good range, but it's terribly slow and also linear. It's not a panic move. It just doesn't work. And this is a problem with lots of Lily's moves. They just don't work. As I said with up 4, for example, it's a 15 frame counter hit launcher that you cannot even use much. Or her down forward 1. Her down forward 1, great range. Only -1 on block, +7 on hit. But a terrible hitbox. One small backdash at range 0 and her down forward 1 is going to whip. It's also terribly linear. It has no tracking whatsoever. It has a really high hitbox as well, so opponents are going to crush it very often. She has lots of other hitbox issues, like with her down back 3, which is supposed to be a counter hit launcher that is a high crush, and it's a homing move. A homing move that can be stepped, by the way. Yeah, female characters can step it at some frames. It also has no range whatsoever. Another counter hit launcher that she has is forward 3, which is also around 20 frames fast, just like her down back 3. And these are two counter hit tools that are safe on block, but they have no range. So once again, you cannot really use them. Wait, no, forward 3 is not a counter hit launcher, sorry. It's a homing move, not a counter hit launcher. Yeah. Down back 3 and forward 3 homing moves. And what did I want to say? I could go on and on about Lily. Move Lily to Koi plays. Hell no. Hell no. No. Her mid crush is unsafe. Down 3 +4 and down back 4. Yeah, her panic tools are all unsafe. She doesn't have any safe keep out tools like Xiaoyu. She doesn't have a magic 4. She doesn't have a high crushing safe down forward 1. Even Asuka has safe crushing tools. Lily doesn't. The good of Lily is the rage drive, which combos. Yep. Her rage drive is really good. It pretty much covers all of her weaknesses. It's a homing move that is mid, and it launches, so it's a safe mid launcher. And about her offense just doesn't work. She can get lots of plus frames, like after Korusukupo 3 +4, but she has the same problem as Negan. She cannot really make use of those plus frames because she's linear and slow. She has no counter hit launchers, no safe mid launchers at all. Her plus frames aren't scary. She either has to risk giving up her turn for something with a big reward, like a hop kick, or she has to stay safer, but force you to respect her with something like a forward 4, which is a safe 17 frames fast mid, but it's -9 on block, so if you block it, it's your turn. She's not scary. Didn't Lily get buffs for season 2? She got 2 good buffs. One is Korusukupo 3 +4, which is a homing move now. But people still can sidestep left and duck against Lily, so in that case, her homing move is irrelevant. They can sidestep left and duck because her mids aren't good. The mids that track to her right side are either really linear and safe, or they track to that side, but they're unsafe, or they don't have a good reward at all. For example, 1+2 does like 30 points of damage, but it's -12 on block, and the tracking isn't even that good. You see what I mean? She has to take risks for not really a big reward. But I'm gonna talk about that in a separate video about Lily, I guess. Lily's not good. It's... I don't know. There's something about Lily. She's like... She either has a good hitbox, for example on her down back 4, but horrible frames. It's -9 on block and -2 on hit. But it tracks to her weak side. But once again, if she decides to go for that, she doesn't have a big reward for it. And she has to risk giving up her turn. Maybe she doesn't have as many faults as Kuma. Also, if Lily wants to deal serious damage, once again she has to take risks. Especially if the opponent has a life lead, she has to take risks. She has 2 good lows, down 3 and forward 4 at 4. They're only -12 on block. That's great. That's really good. But once again, you can beat those lows and the high homing move by doing sidestep left duck. And you will avoid her best mid as well, down 4-3, because it's completely linear. So you beat all of her options pretty much. You get me? Okay, I'm gonna stop ranting about Lily. According to rank 2, there are differences in hitboxes between Kuma and Panda. I don't know much about that. Kazuya, well-rounded? Actually, he's probably less rounded than Law. I think I'm happy with this tier list. I'm happy with this. But he's still an amazing character. He is. He has flaws, but his flaws are compensated by his reward. Yep, that's it, yeah. I also compared Lily to Kazuya. She's like a much worse version of Kazuya. Her offense doesn't work, she barely has any 50-50s. And her punishment isn't as good either. Why would you ever pick Lily over Kazuya? Only if you're a waifu lover and a tea lover like me. And you like playing live characters. Okay, I think that's it for the tier list. I think we should do subfights now, to be honest.